Microsoft could be getting into their own chip design business. What's going on, everybody? I am finally back with my usual thing. Breaking news, Microsoft could be getting into their own chip design business, kind of like Apple's, just to compete. Obviously, they're saying from Windows Central, Danny Rubino, that it could be more for servers, but you never know if it could trickle out into Surface PCs. As you know, we do have the SQ1 and SQ2 chips with Qualcomm in combination, and then we do have Microsoft working a little bit in hand to make custom Surface chips for AMD on their laptops and things like that. But this is a different thing altogether. This could be more towards developing their own chips for their devices to compete with Apple Silicon in the event that as a kind of like a third option. But as you know, it's always going to be tough for Microsoft versus Apple because Microsoft has vendor partners. Microsoft, their Windows PCs, devices and things like that, they license. They license out Windows and stuff to makers. That way they can create PCs for us to buy, like HP, Dell, and Lenovo, and so on. So it's going to be a little different for them. Now, this comes from Bloomberg via Windows Central, and it says that Bloomberg noted that Microsoft Corp is working on in-house processor designs for use in server computers that run the company's cloud services, using ARM LTD or trademark designs to produce a processor that will be used in its data centers. And also Windows Central also says, interestingly, the article mentions that Microsoft is exploring using another chip in some of its Surface line of personal computers, which is also presumably ARM-based, but it's not clear. Now, so it just makes it interesting, right? Apple's on 5 nanometer, I believe, with M1, and there's already rumors of M1X or M2 chip coming out next year, which we kind of already knew that Apple was using M1 as just kind of like a test bed to see how well it would work for the mainstream. And now that they see that it's working pretty well, people are going to really try to get it, and that means M2 or M1X, whatever they decide to call it, will be way, way better. I think I heard a Mac Pro running, 32 core M1 or M1X or M2 chip, which is insane. Meanwhile, we're still working with x86 for most part, and we have Surface Pro X, that is the SQ2 chip with Qualcomm, but Apple is still way ahead in terms of that functionality, things like that. Going in deeper, it says here, Bloomberg expanded the article to include more information about the project. They say here, Microsoft's efforts are more likely to result in a server chip than one for its Surface devices, though the latter is possible, said one of the people. The company's chip design unit reports to Jason Zander, head of Azure Cloud Business, rather than Panos Panay, who oversees Surface products. Representative of Microsoft and ARM declined to comment whether or not Microsoft is working on server and PC processors. And then a little deeper in of Microsoft, they say of Windows Central, thinking Microsoft is not denying the rumor, saying that, quote unquote, because silicon is a foundational building block for technology, we're continuing to invest in our own capabilities in areas like design, manufacturing, and tools, while also fostering and strengthening partnerships with a wide range of chip providers, Microsoft spokesperson Frank Shaw said. So it's just an interesting thing that I wanted to get out there, in that imagine the future of PCs going ARM instead of x86. We already have emulation for x64 and x86 stuff for ARM devices. We got that news that I talked about in the previous video. That happened like last week. So with the whole Windows 10X thing, and then hopefully if Microsoft is working on their own chips or processors, just in case something goes up and AMD and Intel aren't able to compete with Apple, I feel like that might be a pretty good idea for them. But I know so far it says it's pretty much rumored only for servers and not the Surface line of personal computers. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think Microsoft should make their own processors akin to Apple's M1 and line of things, an H1 chip, their Apple Silicon line of chips? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later.